In this video, I'll be showing you how to solve this IGCSE Extended Mathematics Paper 2 question involving quadratics and equating their coefficients. Now, if you feel up for it, go ahead and press pause and try solving this on your own. Either way though, let's get started. We're told, given x squared plus 8x plus 6 equals to, in parentheses, x plus m raised to the power of 2 plus n, find m and n. And in fact, I could have been more specific here and told you that m and n are integers. Okay, well the first thing I'll do is move this question and shrink it down a bit, like so. I'll also add the detail at the top here that m and n are integers, there we go. And I'll quickly write SOL here for solution. So let's see, we're given this x squared plus 8x plus 6, which is equal to, in parentheses, x plus m squared plus n. Now, looking at all of this, hopefully it's clear that the left-hand side of this equation is a quadratic, and so is the right-hand side of this equation. And to make that more obvious on the right-hand side, I'll go ahead and expand or open up this pair of parentheses. So let's see, again, we've got x squared plus 8x plus 6, which will equal to, well, x plus m raised to the power of 2, or x plus m squared, which would be x squared plus 2mx plus m squared. And we still have our plus n on the far right-hand side there. Okay, now that we've reached this stage, the important thing to realize here is that the only way that this left-hand side can equal to this right-hand side is if like powers of x are equal. Here's what I mean. The x squared term on the left-hand side needs to be equal to the x squared term on the right-hand side. And just looking at these two terms, it's quite clear that these are both equal. But carrying on this way, for this left-hand side to be equal to this right-hand side, we'll need this plus 8x to equal to this plus 2mx. And in fact, I'll write that on the right-hand side here. We'll need 8x equal to 2mx. And carrying on that way, we'll also need this plus 6, so the constant term on the left-hand side, to equal to this plus m squared plus n. Indeed, although this may not look like it, m squared plus n will just be a constant term. And so we can go ahead and write that as well. We'll need 6 equal to m squared plus n. And looking back at the first equation we wrote here, hopefully it's clear that x is a common factor on both sides of this equation, so we can get rid of that x, which leads to the equation 8 equals to 2m. And as such, we now have a pair of simultaneous equations, which I'll solve right here. The first equation, 8 which equals to 2m, I could rewrite as 2m equals to 8, and hopefully it's clear we can solve this equation by dividing both sides of it by 2. And so m will equal to 8 divided by 2, in other words, m will equal to 4. And I'll go ahead and box that, there we go, we now know the value of m. Now, using the fact that m is equal to 4, I turn to the second equation we have here. So that was 6 which equals to m squared, so that will be 4 squared plus n. In other words, 6 is equal to 16 plus n, and so subtracting 16 from both sides of this equation, and in fact I could quickly write that, I'll subtract 16 from both sides, we obtain 6 minus 16 on the left-hand side, so that's negative 10, which equals to 16 minus 16 plus n, so that's just n. Finally, n is equal to negative 10. And that's the answer. And so we could state our final answer at the bottom right-hand corner here and state m equals to 4 and n equals to negative 10. And there we have it. That's how we can solve this IGCSE Extended Mathematics Paper 2 question on quadratics and equating coefficients.